Next is quasi-experimental research design. Similar to the experimental research design, quasi-experimental research also aims to identify a cause and effect relationship between two variables, that is, an independent variable and a dependent variable. However, this experiment involves subjects being assigned to groups based on non-random criteria. Among the types of quantitative research, this design is often employed when true experiments cannot be carried out due to practical or ethical reason. A notable advantage of this particular research design is that it has a higher external validity than most true experiments, as it often involves real world interventions as opposed to an artificial laboratory settings. Advantages of this experimental design. It allows you to compare different groups, condition, and explore the causes and effect relationship. This research design of a quantitative approach often occurs in a real world setting. This allows for a high ecological validity, which means you can apply the findings and generalize it to the real life situation. The quantitative research type is more practical and feasible. So let's further look into the example. You can evaluate the impact of pricing promotion on the sales volume using this type of quantitative research. In this research, you can select two stores that sells your product. You can implement a promotion in one store while other store maintains a regular price. So by comparing the sales volume data from both the stores during that particular promotion period of time, you can assess its impact. So one-stop shop together, measure, uncover, and act on insightful data. So this will give you more detail about your research and also which product or which strategy is working well. Experimental research design. Experimental research is also known as true experimentation, which means that particular experimentation aims to measure the effect of one or more data, or you can say which used for a scientific method. This is done by manipulating the independent variables to study its effects on the dependent variables. The experimental research design involves conducting a set of procedures to test the hypothesis of the study. Subjects within experimental research are randomly assigned to groups rather than being assigned to non-random criteria. So advantages of this particular design is researcher has complete control over the extraneous variable, which allows for a high degree of internal validity. So in this research design for a quantitative research, experimental research enables replication and verification of research outcomes, leading to increased confidence in the conclusion drawn. It allows the researcher to manipulate independent variable to assess its impact on the dependent variable. Example, a company can use this quantitative research design type to test the impact of its new product compared to its older variation in the market. So the company can experiment by randomly assigning the older variation to a control group and the new product variation to the experimental group. Then among them, they can use survey to gather respondents' feedback and later assess the performance of both the products and the audience's preferences. This will help you further deeply understand what experiment worked